Hey guys, Jeff DeYoung here with Matt Shirley. We are doing the game console flipping webinar. Matt Shirley's been flipping game consoles for a few years, and he does this a couple of years. Is that right?
Yeah, almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years. Okay, and he does this on the side, which I think is extra valuable because he has a full-time job teaching, and then he's able to make a pretty decent living on the side flipping consoles. And what he's going to do today is I encourage him to share, as much as possible within the time frame that he has. And so he has put together a little presentation for y'all. And I'm excited because I'm learning too as well. I tried to flip one PS3 one time from a garage sale. I didn't know what to do. I paid so little for it that I just said, okay, cool, I'll risk it. And then I sold it to a lady. I said, if it doesn't work, just let me know. She got home and she's like, it doesn't work. So I sent her money back and I was like, whatever. And that was my entire game console flipping career, which I know is pretty insufficient. All right, so let me get you host, and you should be good to share your screen.
All right. All right. What is up, everybody? So my name is Matt Shirley, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up this view for everybody so you can see this slideshow. So yeah, I've been flipping consoles now for almost 3 years, and I got into flipping. I'll tell you just a little bit of backstory because I want to get right to the good stuff. So I do have a full-time job. I've been married for 15 years and I work about 40-50 hours a week. I am a school teacher and also a pastor at a local Christian school. And so for me, I have this entrepreneurial itch, probably like a lot of you, but at the same time, I also really enjoy what I do. And I feel like what I do is also in part like a calling. And so I've never stepped away to try to flip full time, some people say. And so I guess you could say I have a side hustle, but it's basically like a second job, let's be real. But I wouldn't do it if I didn't think it were fun. Just to give you an idea, my life is pretty busy because, I want to be a good husband. I want to be a good dad. I got 2 kids. But at the same time, I also want to make nice profits on the side. I know somebody that's close to me that what I do in flipping on an annual basis is their annual salary. So for me, it's been really rewarding. So I'm going to share these things with you guys today. I'm going to tell you exactly how to source what you're looking for, how to buy it, how to test it, how to clean it, how to take good photos of it, how to list it, how to sell it, how to ship it, and ultimately how to get reviews so that you can become an eBay power seller. eBay is kind of the golden standard for flipping stuff. And so if we're on that same page, there's other different places and marketplaces where you can flip stuff as well. But let's be real, eBay, I think, is the OG. And even still, I think it's the best place that you can buy and sell consoles. In fact, there's a little fact in here, but I think at one point when the retro NES system came out, retro and vintage are different. We'll talk about that. But when the retro NES came out in 2016, I think eBay was selling one every 18 seconds. So if that puts things in perspective as to how often and quickly consoles sell, I like to sell consoles because I like to keep my money liquid. They are fast money. They move fast online on just about any marketplace that I've been on. So I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to get right to it. Okay, so how do you find the right items? This is the most important skill set that you could have. I know there's probably a lot of phone flippers in this group with smart flipping, and I've met a lot of resellers through the phone flipping community that then eventually got into cameras, and they got into like electronics and other types of things. And for me, I kind of niched down in the reselling community on consoles. So the most important skill you can absolutely have is, how do you find the right items? Like, how do you find the money? Like, where is it? And so it has to do with becoming a curator, right? You develop your eyes to see the right things. And so when you find them, you know exactly where the value is. It doesn't matter if you're at a garage sale, you're at a Goodwill, you're looking online, wherever you might be, you can know what to find. And so I'm going to talk to you about the method I use the most. This method allows me to actually take what I know and my life, working a full-time job, and still do the most and the best that I can. So I'm going to talk to you about the reach out method, where I go to other people because it allows me to manage my schedule in a way that is really, really ideal for me. If you're also trying to get into like flipping and you're still doing it part-time, this will be for you. Maybe you're working a construction job, maybe you teach like I do, maybe you work at a bank, I don't know, but hopefully this sorts you. Before we say that real quick, I will let you know this. I have done ads, and for me, when I started doing ads, I got really, really good results. My two favorite websites to use are right here. It's Snappa and Unsplash, and you can click on these links and they'll pop up. So let me show you real fast. This is Snappa. It is a website where you can build stuff just like Canva or Photoshop. And let me show you the other guy here. We go to Unsplash. Unsplash is just a space of high res, curated, free photos that you can use to make really good ads, really good ads. And so these are some ads that I made just with Snappa and Unsplash. So if you're the guys like, hey, I'm going to learn this method you're going to tell me about, Matt, but at the same time, I do want to make some fire ads. I made these right there on Snappa, just using free photos from Unsplash. You can do the same. When I started posting these, within like 2 weeks, I had like a death pile. If you know what a death pile is, it's just all that stuff that you need to sell. I had more product than I needed in a very short amount of time. And I'm still a one-man wolf pack. I'm still holding it down, doing the best I can for myself. And so I was overwhelmed. And so I was like, okay, I'm currently do also have a mentor helping me to grow and do more ads. And if you want to talk about ads, Jeff is your guy. Jeff, shameless plug. But I think you can crush it just with simple stuff like this. And so if there's more you want to know about that, we could talk about it. Okay, so the reach out
Matt, real
method
quick.
I like to use where,
Matt, real
yeah.
quick. I think if new people try to join in, you may have to, it may pop up that so-and-so wants to join, and hear them. I don't see that coming up on my end. And I did expect a few people that had just messaged me. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Adam Davis just came in. Cool. Got it. Yeah. All right. You're good.
No worries. All right. Hey, welcome those of you that are also joining. This is great. And just want to say, let's get into it. So we were just talking about how to source these items, how to find the right stuff and know the value. So I use the reach out method, where I go to the customer, I find them on Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist, and the Nextdoor app. I will say that 90 to 95% of the time, I probably use Marketplace. OfferUp is good. It's gotten a little scammy. I use it a lot, probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. But probably somewhere like a year ago, there were just some scams there, and it was hard to find all the good deals. Craigslist, still a banger because people don't look there. And I found some really great deals on Craigslist. Nextdoor app as well, just because people don't go there. And so I like to go to the places where I have less competition. Is there more competition on Marketplace? Yes, but it's still great. So when you go to buy an item, you want to assess the value. You're going to negotiate the deal and you're going to make the purchase. Let's talk about assessing the value of what you're trying to get. Essentially, like, what consoles have money? What am I looking for, and what kinds of items? So I want it to be really, really plain here that the money is made when you buy, not when you sell. So if you know what you're looking for, if you know that you're buying the right item, you're never going to lose money. So know what to buy and you'll always be in profit. And that's really important. So be prepared to buy any of the following. Jeff just told a story for those of you that just jumped on about buying a PS3 at a garage sale. Feel that? I've bought consoles before at garage sales, but it's hard to test it. It's hard to know if it works. But if you know what you're looking for, be prepared to buy any of the following: vintage, new, broken, used. All these are really, really solid. There's solid profit in all of these that you can buy and flip and make money. So I'm just going to give you the rundown on vintage consoles. Vintage consoles are hot, and why do people want to buy them? And here's why I actually enjoy the process of flipping, is because I believe that people want to relive their childhood memories. What did you do when you were a kid? I know what I did when I was a kid. When I was in middle school, I was playing Streets of Rage 3 with my friend Nathan down the street on his Sega Genesis. And I think that there's a lot of sentiments attached to that idea, but these are all different vintage consoles that I would point you towards. And so you can look at this list. again, if you're attending this online, or if you're watching this recording, then I will be sharing a document with you that'll have all this information featured. So the best thing you could probably do right now is listen, or if you want to screenshot this, that's totally fine, but we'll have it available for you. More people joining, that's awesome. So old school Atari consoles, Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, Microsoft, and then recently coming on the scene, you've got VR consoles. Oculus has already released 4 or 5 different consoles. And then you've even got some other VR consoles like the HTC Vive, which was discontinued. But there's still money to be found in these items because people love their gaming. In fact, gaming is the #1 entertainment industry, period. More than movies, more than music, more than going to concerts. It is the most interactive, engrossing entertainment experience that people can have. And that's why I think consoles move so quickly. So new consoles we're talking about, which are a little more challenging to find sometimes. You got your Switch OLED, PS5, both the digital and the disc version, the Microsoft Series X Xbox, which some people call the fridge, and then the Oculus Quest 2, which released around Christmas, and this crazy VR headset you've probably never even heard of called Valve Index, which cost about, if you wanted to skip your mortgage or your rent for at least a month and just buy a Valve Index and then hook it up to your really killer laptop, then you could play a Valve Index. I think the MSRP price tag on those is like $1,200 to $1,300. It's no joke. So where's the money? The money is found really in any variation in color, limited edition, or enhanced function. If you find stuff at the right price, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, then you can always make money on a basic console. Say you just wanted to buy a PS4 Slim or PS4 Pro, then that's cool. You could look it up on Facebook Marketplace and see. In fact, let's go do that right now. I'm going to jump over to Marketplace from Unsplash. And I'm just going to see real fast if we can find a deal. And for me,
this is what I'm talking
what's
about. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is what I want.
Right. Let's see if we can find a deal. Okay. Let's go to PS4. Let's just look up a basic PS4. And you'll forgive me for a second. I'm going to get rid of this.
Well, hey, what's cool with like the opportunity, guys, is the fact that people are pricing stuff locally and he's selling stuff globally. So they have 100,000 buyers and he's got 100 million buyers. And so with 100 million buyers, you got a higher price because you got people bidding up the actual value. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the money is made when we exploit it from one market to the next. And I actually have a slide about that. But the money's made when we take it from one marketplace to the other marketplace. People are going to pay a higher margin because when you go to eBay, they want more for it. And so if you can exploit that difference, you can always make money. In fact, who's to say, in the future tense, there's not another marketplace that will emerge or come along where people can somehow, I don't know, do the exact same thing. So I'm looking right here and I'm seeing stuff that ships. So here's what I do. I'll just show you exactly what I do. I put in my area. Of course, I'm in Oklahoma. All right, I'm in the city of Tulsa. So if anybody's from Tulsa, welcome. You're not my competitor. You're my collaborator. And let's go to local pickup because I'm not interested in trying to buy anything that ships to me. Okay, already see a few decent deals here. I look for this stuff all the time. So what you need to know about the Facebook algorithm is the more you search for certain things, the more it's going to prefer those things. So if you're looking for PS4s, if you're looking for Nintendo Switches, if you're looking for Atari 2600s, it doesn't matter what it is. It's going to curate the algorithm in a way that's what's going to come up most often. So when I open Facebook now and Marketplace, I automatically see these items. And that's really great. So this one needs a fan. That's okay. Camo one here. 200 for an Xbox One S. I'm going to go back up here to this guy. I'm going to do this kind of quick. All right, so we got a PS4 Slim, 500 gig. Like I said before, if you go back to the slide, right here it says, hey, any variation in color, limited edition, or enhanced function is almost always worth more. This is the thing I know that most people don't. A white PS4 typically is going to sell for more than a black PS4. A white PS4 Pro is definitely going to sell for more than a black PS4 Pro. If this thing were red, if it were an exclusive Black Ops 3 edition, because PS4 has one of those, if it were You know, the Uncharted 4 edition, all of those are sell for more. And let's see what this comes with. This comes with 2 games. He's showing me pictures that it works. That's helpful. Thank you so much. And it comes with a white controller. Here's another thing. Even that white controller is going to sell more than for a basic controller. So let's do the thing that we all do where we use eBay. All right, we're going to go over to Ps4. I'm going to type this in. White console, 500 gigabyte. And let's see what it's selling for right now. Buy it now. Always want the buy it now price. Condition is used. And our favorite magic button. Sold. All right, 260, 289. This one's exclusive. This is a Destiny version. So it looks like this person has this priced just slightly beneath what it's selling for on Facebook. So am I gonna buy it on that, even though it's like it's got a few games? Probably not, because the margins on that aren't going to be as ideal as what I want them to be. So you can see here, this is a Black Ops 3 version right here. Somebody has one in box that they're selling for $525. I can just tell you off top, that's probably pretty accurate. Let's keep cruising. I'm gonna look at this deal right here. This is actually pretty decent. When I come across deals like this, even if it's not exactly the price I'd hope for, here's what I do. I favorite, I save those, because again, I'm just training the algorithm to find me stuff. Okay, so I'm going to show you a really helpful trick that most people don't know. It's actually going to help you assess the value of the item a little bit better. And this is extra. I didn't even put this in the slides or anything. All right, so when you find something and it's hard to view, I imagine most of you guys are probably looking for items on your phone. I like looking for items on my desktop. Here is a pro move that's going to help you assess the value a lot better. And let me close a few windows here. I'm going to suffocate myself in tabs. Does anybody feel that pain? You have like 900 tabs up at once. Okay, so I'm going to post this listing. What I did is I copied the link for this Facebook posting. I dropped it right here in Marketplace. I'm going to go all the way back to the front here, and this is all I'm going to do. I'm going to type an M here. This is going to tell the browser that I'm looking for the mobile website. Press enter. It's going to bring up a completely different looking website that is mobile. The cool thing is these images are higher res. So when I click on it, look at that image right there. That's really nice. That's a lot bigger than before. And now I can actually, we went from this image to this image, and I can actually see some of these games. So he's got a bunch of FIFA games, 13, 14, Tiger Woods, Modern Warfare. Okay, I'd say if you bundled these, you probably have about 40 to 50 bucks in games. He's selling this for $100. I'm going to go back over to eBay right here. I'm going to type in, this is a PS3 Super Slim. So I've already asked it to show me the sold items. So condition, used. Okay. So the console alone right here is selling for 70 bucks. That's with a controller. So here's what I like to do. I'll go to PS3 Super Slim. I'm going to type in console only, and I'm going to look at what the price of this guy is right here just for the console. Okay. I've got 90 bucks, 80 bucks, 100 bucks, 80 bucks. So here's what I can determine just based off this listing. This guy is selling me a bundle, but he's selling the console itself on eBay is worth what the whole bundle is worth. So is this some found money? Absolutely. So what could I do with this? I mean, look, I've scrolled down like maybe for what, like 5 seconds when we were looking at this on Marketplace. I can go over here, I can look at these games. Now, if you want to get even more particular, I can start looking up all these games one by one and find the value on each of the games. I can sell the games that have a higher resale value as one-offs, and I can take the games that are like-minded games. Give you an example here.
Dude, so this is the chance to be a pessimist right here. Like, you're looking for the worst sales price, right? And assuming that essentially it'll be harder and longer to sell than you're assuming, and it'll sell for less, and then you're going to undervalue how much the fees are. Like, I know if I see 80, I see in my head, I see like 60 or 50.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So you probably would talk this guy down a little bit, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. And I was going to get to that. I would probably take a swing at this for about $65 would be a good deal. $75 is a pretty good deal. $80 is ideal. I wouldn't buy this for any more than 80 bucks.
Yeah.
But when you buy it, you got a couple items here. You got the Call of Duty, you've got Modern Warfare. I can't quite tell what this game is underneath, but I imagine it's either another sports game or fighting game, first person shooter, just based on this guy's preferences. But when you buy bundles from people, the cool thing is you can take the games that are similar. Like these are all 3 racing games. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to bundle them together, and I'm going to sell these for about 25 to 35 bucks. And I'm going to make a chunk off of this. I'm going to make a chunk off of the console here. I'm going to make a chunk off these FIFA games right here, bundling together, which actually sell really well. Or I might do a whole EA Sports package with the Tiger Woods PGA Tour, which probably is the most highly valued game in all of that because I've sold it before. So I'll just give you an example. We found this console. You could sell that for $80. Let's assume you're going to make about 65 off of that. You could let's go to
Matt. Can you check
Yeah.
it? Are people trying to get in real quick?
I got one new guy.
Cool.
Thanks, Ray.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, Ryan's awesome.
Okay, Tiger Woods, PGA Tour, PS3. Let's see if we can find this game. PGA Tour 14. What game are we looking at here? PGA Tour 13. All right. Now that's the Masters version. Let me keep cruising. Okay. This is about a $10 game. That's pretty good. I typically only sell one-off games if I can get 15 to 20 bucks or more for it. So having said all that, the good thing about this deal is it's right on the edge of where I could of really good found money. So with a little bit of negotiating, I could take this deal right here for 100 bucks. I throw, let's say, $70 at him. I'll meet you today with cash. Okay, cool. I buy that. You can bundle up, you could sell it. You could easily double your money on this deal. You can make, I'd list it for about probably 165. I can guarantee you it's probably going to sell somewhere between like 150 to 135 easy. What are my margins? What kind of money have I made there? We're going to talk all more about that, but I'm just walking you through the process of assessing the value. So here's an item that I immediately jumped on, I found, and look at that. There's some found money. I'm going to give you just a couple other like thoughts and ideas on things that you can make money on, things that people don't know about. Okay. So this right here is an Atari Heavy Sixer. I haven't mentioned right here in the slideshow. This is Atari Heavy Sixer. I bought this on Facebook Marketplace from a guy for $40. The unique thing about the Heavy Sixer is it has this very defined edge that is different than the Light Sixer. It weighs like half a pound more, but it's also exclusive. I'm going to show you this right here because this one was actually made, it's American made, and it was made in Sunnyvale, California. So the Heavy Sixer is a really sweet deal. Little things like this that people commonly overlook. I have a Ps4 controller that is unique. It's a Camo Controller. This controller is going to sell for 10 more bucks than a normal controller. What I don't want you to do is leave money on the table. A Nintendo 64. I recently bought this Nintendo 64 with 2 controllers, 7 games for $60. That's a sweet deal. I had hopes that this 64 right here would be what we call a one chip. You can see that there in the slide. It's not, but the one chip sells for more. PS3 Pro Super Slim God of War console is red. Show you a version of that real fast. Look at this guy. Sold one of these to his kids one. I bought the game, the console in a bundle for 50 bucks. I flipped that console alone for almost $200 as his son's first console. So pretty sweet. This is another example of found money. I once bought a Nintendo Switch version 1. The OG version 1 has a distinct serial code like this. I didn't realize that these versions are hackable. I listed it on eBay and it sold in like what felt like 20 minutes. And I said, I think I made a mistake. I think I missed some money and left some dollars on the table here. So the next thing I did is I started researching, and I found out that the early versions, people like to, they're unpatched, and people like to do something they call homebrew, which is where they cook them and they mod them out, and you can load like thousands of games on them. And the next time I found one, I literally sold it for double the price. I bought it for like $200, and I sold it on eBay for 500 bucks. Some examples of games, I've just listed a few games here. Pokemon, Mario. If you know about the notorious NCAA football 2014, for any console, it easily sells for about $100. Here's some examples. This little stinking Nintendo 3DS game sells for 35 bucks. NCAA football easily always sells for about, I'd say minimum $70 to upwards of 110 to 120 bucks. Mario Party, $70. These are games that I have sold easily. Legend of Zelda, this game also came with a unique disc. It was pretty cool. Got this just from an ad, and somebody sold it to me with a bundle of stuff, and I think I bought all that for like 20 bucks. So just to tell you, if the individual game isn't valued at more than 15 to 20 bucks, just bundle it, like I said. Sell the one-off games and then bundle the others, and that's where your money is going to be. Desired return, we're going to talk about this. 40 to 60%, otherwise, listen, man, it is not worth your time. So if I were to go back to, if I were to go back to this deal right here, if I can't make at least 40 to 60% on this, if I can't clear, let's say I buy that for 80 tops, I mean, I want to clear at least $40 on that profit. $60 is even better. For me, I probably wouldn't do it for 30 bucks because it's just not worth my time. So if I were to buy this, I guarantee you I'm going to sell the controller, I'm going to sell the console, and I'm going to sell the bundle of games all separately. And I'll make my money plus extra. I am going to profit and make money. I'm definitely going to make money. And this is just one example from one marketplace. You could go on here and you could look up something else. Let's look at Nintendo Switches for a second. Again, try to hit on something local here. I think a little bit like phones. Oh, I saw this deal earlier on Nextdoor. This is a compelling and good deal. I'm just going to tell you off top. This right here, this 3DS black, it's got 13 games. He's got 10 games here, but he's got 13 scattered out. So they're hard to see. Again, I'll show this to you one more time. Drop that link in here, double click, backspace all the way to the beginning. Type the letter M in, and now look at how much closer I can see these games. I love this trick, it's awesome. So it's like Frozen. DS was released to a very young audience, so you have to understand when Nintendo dropped this, they're trying to appeal to people's kids, right? They're not trying to appeal to you as adults. That's why you've got like Lego Batman 3 and Disney's Frozen over here. But you have some other cool stuff too. You have, looks like it's the Sonic Mario Winter Games over here. That game, I can tell you on other consoles, sells really well. You've got, I think it's hard to tell what that is, but it looks like it's a, it looks like, hold on a second. Looks like a Star Wars game. All right. I'm going to look this up real fast. We're looking at a Nintendo 3DS, okay? I guarantee you we're going to make good money on this deal. Nintendo 3DS Black. Oh, I had already looked it up yesterday, so good on me for that one. Okay, Nintendo 3DS Black, boom. This one is, well, it's technically the color is onyx because, you know, it's like when you put a paint swatch on your wall, it's not orange, it's cantaloupe, or it's sunset gold, or things like that. Okay, so 139 on the low, 140, 130, 140, 170. I'm gonna take the average of those 3 or 4 prices. Just ballparking this, I did the math yesterday. We're looking at about $160. How much is this for sale for? This guy wants 105 bucks on this bundle. I can sell the console alone for $160. You think I'm going to take a swing at that deal? Yes. I should have messaged that guy yesterday. I did it because I was preparing for this webinar, but at the same time, this is a deal that I would totally go for. So these games right here, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up the one-off games. All right, here is a nice little gem that you don't see in this photo. Let me see if I can. Every time I try to click on this, it just wants to pull up that same image. He's got Pokemon Ultra Moon guaranteed. It's already in the console, but you don't see it listed. So check this out. We already showed that Pokemon Ultra Moon for 3DS. It's not going to want to show me the game. Let me be more specific. For whatever reason, eBay just wants to show me consoles right now. X version. This game right here, if I go back to my slides, I showed it to you earlier. It's right here. This game typically sells for $35. So that's how we know we've got some money there. And then lastly, this right here, you can't see this. So let me see if I can get this third photo to pop off for me. But there is a version of Pokemon Sun that he has in there as well. And that game is also going to make me some good money. Just these Pokemon games alone, because people love Pokemon. Okay. I don't see any sold versions recently here. Getting a lot of like DS options, but just point in case, this 3DS XL, and technically that's what this is. This is a 3DS XL console. It's not just your basic console. It's a 3DS XL, and so it's going to sell for $160 to $200. These games, all the Pokemon games, you're going to make probably at least $100 off the 2 Pokemon games alone. Pokemon Sun sells for about 35 to 50 bucks. And then you've got all these other games which you can bundle up or sell as one-offs as you want. So if you're looking at a deal of $105, I mean, talking about found money, you could probably make at least $200 off this deal, I would think. So
Dude,
like,
this is crazy, man. He's having trouble selling it. He's having to lower the price 2 days later.
yeah.
This doesn't happen.
Just,
this doesn't happen almost in any city with phones, right?
No, it just, if you know, when you know what you're looking for, here's the thing. The reason this is such a sweet gig is because other people aren't looking for it because they don't know what to find.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't know. And so when you do know, you have that skill or ability that other people don't. And you kind of you develop that ability where you can see these really quick. You can go, oh, look, once you start selling and you start researching and doing a little bit of due diligence on eBay to find out what's the fair market value for these specific games, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Look at this listing right here, just right at the top, 3DS XL with the charger. It has Pokemon Sun, Super Smash Bros, and Batman 3. That guy right there on this listing, there's Batman 3 right there, Lego Batman 3. And you see the Pokemon Sun game right here. And you've also got the console, so you can tell, okay, there's only, all this listing has that the other one doesn't is Super Smash Bros. And this sold for $235. And this guy has this listed for 105 bucks. Man, let's go for it, for real. So it's very easy to find these deals. We've looked at a PS3, we've looked at a Nintendo DS, and I haven't even scrolled down the first page. And that's pretty common occurrence for me now. When I first started, it wasn't, but I can just tell you it's really great. It's fantastic. So I'm going to go back to my slideshow here and just kind of run through this with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to please throw them in the chat. I'm more than happy to talk with you through any questions. And if I miss any questions, Jeff, just be sure to call me out so that I don't overlook anybody, because I definitely want to be here to add value to what's going on in your flipping and reselling business. So always doing the math on your financial returns is really important. And I automatically just assume, like you said, Jeff, that 15 to 18% of what I sell is going to go out the door. I sold a PS4 Pro yesterday for 350 bucks, and I'm going to make about, I think I got 300 back from eBay on that. $50 of that was shipping and fees. So here's some pro moves. Ditch the one-off deals, and folks, go for the bundles. Most people sell these things in bundles, and unless you see something for a really good price, don't mess with it. Why would you buy just like one console unless you're getting a crazy stupid bargain on it when you can get so much more? I'll show you guys a few things real quick in my Google Drive here, just so I can give you further evidence that this stuff does in fact go for really good deals. Here's a great one-off deal that I got. This is a old school Game & Watch, Nintendo Game & Watch that I picked up from a guy for 30 bucks. He sold me 2 of these for $60 total. I think he originally wanted 90. We negotiated 60. He just needed fast cash. I sold this within 48 hours for $100. That was a great deal. We'll talk about this in a second. This right here, this Smash Bros was a great setup. The reason I'm showing you this one is this right here, this exclusive skin for this controller. I sold on Mercari for $30 because somebody wanted a Mario Kart 8 skin for their Wii U controller for 30 bucks. That was awesome. This is just another bundle. These games, one at a time, weren't selling for much. I put them all together. I sold these all for $40. This controller right here, this is not just a Wii U controller. This is a Wii Motion Plus controller, meaning that it vibrates. It has like an interaction with the gyroscope inside the controller. The fact that it's branded with Luigi, like I said, anything that's hyped over a specific character, especially characters that have a fan base and good following, like Link or Sonic or Mario or Pokemon, all those things are hot. People want them. They don't want a plain controller that's white and stupid looking. They want this one, and this one sells for $35 a piece. I bought bundles with these controllers where people just sold them like normal controllers, and I'm making 10 to 15 bucks more per controller. That's profit, not revenue, but profit. This right here was great. At one point when these items were really hot, they were hard to come by, and a guy sold me one for about $225. I flipped this for 500 bucks. This is the back of the Atari console I showed you. This is evidence that it was made in Sunnyvale, California. I bought this for $40 off of Facebook Marketplace. This console right here resells on regularly for about 80 to 120 bucks by itself without the bundle. Again, another example of a controller like that. Pokemon Pearl, Pokemon White. I bought these with a broken Nintendo DS. I bought all of them plus the console for 30 bucks. I turned around, sold the handheld for $30, then sold each of these games. I think I sold this one for 35 and I sold this one for 55. I went to a garage sale down the street where we're talking about old school gaming consoles. People also like to play these old school gaming consoles on old school TVs. This sounds really dumb, that people would buy old school TVs. But the thing I realized is they want the experience. I bought this TV for $5. I sold it on eBay for almost 200 bucks. To most people, this doesn't make sense, but there's an audience that's still looking for that vintage quality, whether they want to watch their movies or play their games on consoles like this. I'll give you one more point in case of the reason why you shouldn't overlook deals like this sometimes. Listen, if you're watching this recording or you're a new flipper and you want an easy flip, go on Facebook Marketplace, look for free TVs. This is the Sony Trinitron. This is kind of the gold standard of gamers. But there was a doctor, a dentist who had closed his dental office. he listed 5 of these on the corner of his house, like literally curb deal, free TVs, come and get them. He had 4 of them from his dental practice. I went and picked up all 4 of these. I sold each of them over the next month for $150 to $180 a pop. I made $550 profit off of free TVs that I picked up on the corner outside of a guy's house because he didn't want them anymore. That's gold, folks. There's money out there to be found. You can look for free deals. This is a 13-inch TV. This thing is light. It weighs maybe 12 pounds. It's not hard to ship. It fits in a small to medium size Home Depot shipping box, which will cost you $3. Yeah, you'll have to source some bubble wrap and all that stuff. We'll talk about shipping it. But this thing right here is, again, Sony Trinitron is the gold standard. If you started looking for Sony Trinitrons on Marketplace right now, I guarantee you could find these for pretty cheap. And somebody's trying to get rid of it just because they're big dumb TVs and people don't want them anymore. You know who wants them? Gamers, people that played GameCube on a TV like this when they were 12, and they're out there, and Facebook has a whole litany of them lined up looking for these deals. I promise you, I've sold so many TVs. At one point, I was just sourcing TVs, Jeff. I was literally just flipping TVs for like 2 months, and then I got tired of lugging around TVs. I bought this for $40 during COVID while everybody was locked down. This person didn't want it. This drum set alone was for a PS4, and it sold for $200. Again, difference between the heavy sixer and the light sixer is the edges. If you know what to look for, you can find money. A guy sold me this console, $125. Call of Duty console, that's why it's camoed out, which I think is kind of bad. It looks pretty cool. But this one sold for $225. Oculus, I've sold Oculus stuff and made hundreds of dollars off of Oculus. I bought this for $100. This is a limited edition. Where's the next picture I have? This is a limited edition Mountain Dew console that a guy just wanted to get rid of. He's like, I'll sell you this and 100 games for $200. So I turned around and I think I have another picture of it. I flipped it for, yeah, picked it for 100. I sold it for 275. I kind of wanted to keep that one just because it looks cool. Come on, it's Mountain Dew Lightning Green. This is an example of a hacked Nintendo Switch version 1. And I sold this for $500. I paid $200 for it. I picked this for $1 and sold this Super Mario Sunshine for $50. I bought this for $5 with a bundle with somebody else. I sold Spanky's Quest for Super Nintendo for $60. The list goes on and on. This was 50 cents. I sold it for $12. I could keep. Oh, one last one.
I take it like when you start this out, you're doing like massive amounts of just searching around and very little buying. Is that right?
You're curating your skill to be able to find items that other people are overlooking. That's my skill that I've learned in this is I know where the money is and they don't, and so I can find it very easily. I hit on this one very quickly. This guy was spring cleaning for whatever reason. One Christmas, he said he bought himself a PS3, but put it in the back of his closet, forgot about it, never played it. It was factory sealed. He put it on Facebook. It had been up for like 12 minutes. I swooped on this. I think I paid him straight up $165 for it because that's all he wanted, because I knew that this would sell for somewhere between $400 to $600. And so big Atari set right here, bought that over COVID for $35, sold it as a bundle for $165. So all that to say, there's easy money to be found. I will say this, for those of you that are flippers out there that really love super fast money, like phone flips and going to GameStop and getting your dollars back right away, this is probably not like that. But because consoles sell so fast, you're probably going to move them within 1 to 10 days. So I'm just going to share a little bit of math with you here, and this is kind of the breakdown so you can see it and know that this is a trusted effort here. This is kind of what we're talking about. Buy the bundles, part them out. The sum of the parts is greater than the whole. So if you can buy a PS4 Pro, which I recently purchased from a guy for $225, excuse me, I bought the PS4 Pro bundle right here for $225. I sold it $300. I sold each controller for $25 each. I sold the headset. I sold all this. And so you can see the math right here. This is what I made off of that deal. I profited $440. So my return on investment was 195%. That is not the absolute fastest money because it took me a second to move all these items. But by the time I got my return back, how is that? How in the world is that bad business on any level? It's just not. It's great business. So negotiating the deal and make the purchase. Since I use the reach out method, these are the 3 types of people that I'm looking for. I'm looking for people that are ignorant and don't know what they have, and they're just begging me to buy it. I'm looking for people that are indifferent. They don't give a crap what they have. Just please get it out of my life and out of my hair. And I'm looking for desperate people, shamelessly, because they just need money now. And apart from that, like when you wanna close the deal on Marketplace, don't be the guy who says, "Hey, is this still available?" If you want to close that deal, say, "Hey, John, I saw your listing and I want to buy it." Or, "Hi, Adam, your listing caught my eye and I would like to purchase it today. Or I can meet you today with cash. Is that cool?" Great. Just swing for those deals right away. And because stuff does move faster on Marketplace, like jump on them. Craigslist, Nextdoor, OfferUp, a little bit slower, but Marketplace, there's people just like me. There's not a lot of them, but there's a few of them in every city out there kind of looking for those same deals. So if I don't jump on a console deal pretty quick, I know it's going to move. I tried to buy a PS4 Pro white last week for $125, and I missed it because it had been listed for 3 hours already and somebody bought it. So testing the item, plug it in, man. Just make sure it's working. I want to note that before you actually get to this point where you've bought the item, you've closed the deal, you've gotten home with it, do your level best to make sure that it's just fully functioning. So just a little bit of conversational here as you buy it, convincing evidence that the device works the way it was designed to. Hey, can you send me photos of it working? Can I get screenshots? What firmware are you running that tells you that it's updated and the firmware is current? That's just the current software that it's operating on. Photos are good, but video is better. Just recently bought a PS4 Pro Black from a guy, and he sent me video of it working, and I had full confidence that I was going to buy it from him for the price he was asking. If all goes according to plan, you shouldn't have any surprises. Like, unlike phones, it's hard to test them on site, but you can try with handheld consoles, which is great. So buying Nintendo Switches makes it really easy. And don't occasionally be shocked if you have some surprises. I have bought a few consoles here and there that were just really dusty and dirty, and the fan was running loud, so I did have to maybe crack them open and clean them. Other Matt, who's on this call, you might be aware that some of your techs have to do that kind of stuff. Sometimes bugs do get into them. Unfortunately, I probably have bought a few consoles where I was like, was there a lot of roaches around this or something? I don't know. But yeah, so occasionally you get some surprises like that. All right, so I'm moving through this material rather quickly because the most important skill set is being able to assess it. But I also, once you buy the item, I want you to be able to make your money back, man. So clean it and photograph it. Make it look like you would want to buy it. These are just tools of the trade that I use to clean stuff up. FYI, if you buy an old school, vintage, kind of yellowed 64, you can see like this guy looks pretty good, but sometimes you get them and they have like a gross kind of yellowing, almost like a nicotine vibe, maybe if that person was a smoker. This stuff right here, Retro Bright, is amazing. It will take the color and essentially it will bleach the console to make it look like it's factory new. I mean, it's incredible. So when I send you guys all this information, you can check this out and look it up. And if you need to make some of that, you can. So after you bought it, you got it home, you've cleaned it up, you've tested it, everything's working. You just want to take photos like you're trying to sell it. Like, think about this. What are you trying to buy when you troll Facebook or eBay? What kind of deals are you looking for where you're like, okay, that looks like something I would buy? Make it look like that. That's what I do. So this is just a heads up of what you're looking for. Maximizing those listings is a big deal because right here, eBay Cassini, man, the eBay algorithm eats that up. If you have maximum photos, then you are preferred over the next seller in line who only has 10 photos or 9 photos. And so having a lot of good photos from various angles and taking a good cover photo shoot is really important. And when I say that, I'm going to go back to this image right here. This is how I listed this item. Excuse me. This is how I listed this item. I tried to take a picture where you can see all the goods right here. Everything's all inclusive. I know what I'm getting. The picture tells a story. This is everything you're getting. And so it's very desirable. It's very clickable. You can zoom in on this and you can see here's all the stuff. Here's the controllers. Here's the parts of the Atari 800 console and the power plug and the extras and little things like that. Collectors like that kind of stuff. Why are people on eBay buying vintage consoles? Because they probably collect and want to, again, relive those childhood memories. So that's an example of a good cover photo. Tools of the trade of taking good photos. The camera on your phone is all you need. This is self-explanatory, but ring lights or a light box really are golden. Anything from like 8 to like 12-inch ring lights are pretty great. 2 is better than 1. In fact, you can't see these, but I currently have 2 ring lights glowing the side of my head so that this video turns out well. A couple quick things too, psychologically. White is associated with sophistication and cleanliness, so it's a good design choice, and people subconsciously don't know this, but when they look at it, they go, oh, look at that, it's clean. I want to buy something that's not dirty and gross. Items with white backgrounds also get optimized by Google ad space. So let's say that eBay takes a listing and it's going to project your listing onto an ad somewhere out in the metaverse, out there on the internet. An image with a white background or where the background is completely knocked out is optimized by not just eBay, but also by Google. So think about the power of Google taking an eBay image and then having it posted, for other eyes to see. That's just a little extra that I think some people don't know about. So having a white background is actually, I think, a bonus and a benefit. All right. So when you list your item, I'm going to post it where you think will sell best. These are all of the locations that I know most people sell at. And I've only sold to direct buyers, eBay and Mercari. I have never sold on Swappa, but I know resellers who have. So I'm listing it here for your benefit. Jeff, have you ever sold on Swappa?
Yes, I have.
You want to say anything about that for a sec?
You do get high prices. You do get it as a very, very trustworthy buyer base, meaning like very, very few, if ever, I don't think I've ever heard of an issue with the buyer, meaning like them trying to say like they didn't receive the order or any kind of nonsense like that. The problem is lack of traffic. So for example, I have a laptop listed on Swappa. I've had it listed for a little over 2 weeks, and every single day I log in and lower it $10. But even though my price started out as competitive and now it's near like 10% below competitive, still hadn't sold. I mean, with that said, it's selling for a high price, and at an $1,800 purchase price, I'd prefer not to sell on eBay just because I don't know. I don't trust it as much. I trust eBay more for like $500 and under. Although I've sold stuff for higher, I just for $1,800, I'm a little bit I don't know, a little bit skittish.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think eBay is still the golden standard because that's where most of the buyers are. And Mercari is pretty good, but I think across the board, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Across the board, I think Mercari, for whatever reason, has everything seems to sell for about 10 to 20% less, and I don't like that. So I don't sell on Mercari as much. But I'd say, guys, do your research and decide what suits you best. This link right here, which I will include after this video in the material for any of you guys who watched or trying to watch the replay, does actually, this is a direct buyer who buys used consoles. I'm in the process of working with them, but I haven't sold anything to them yet. So just FYI, just don't want you to go in there thinking that I've leveraged this relationship and it's really good. I've only just recently discovered them, but it was nice to find a direct buyer that does buy used. So I'm going to try them out in the next week or so. Featuring your item on more than one platform to optimize your reach is cool. But I think, this is a next level of gig, when you're trying to move more products because you have too much and you've already determined how to make money in the space. This is probably the space that I'm at now. It's like You get, okay, places I know resellers really use Sellhound, Vendu is great, lists perfectly, seems to be better for bulk listing. And then you could also hire out a virtual assistant. Jeff, you want to speak about how to procure a virtual assistant and have them kind of start to go to work for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Onlinejobs.ph I've found is is, man, I don't, there could be a better spot, but it's unbelievable. You pay $70 a month. There's not a chance you will need that for more than a month. All you do is post what you want, exactly what you want, and you will be bombarded with hundreds of people that can do what you're trying to do. And one of the struggles that Matt and I talked about is when you're going to get these deals, it's way more fun to buy than it is to sell. Like, way more fun. And so what happens is you end up with tons of stuff, man, tons of stuff, because you just don't feel like listing a game that's going to sell for $15, $20 when you can go out and find a deal that's going to make you $150 to $200. So there's a big time mismatch between the buy side and the sell side. And so if I were to start doing this pretty seriously, I'd probably hire somebody local to pick up my stuff for me. I'd pay him probably $20 to $25 per pickup unless it was a further drive. And then I would immediately clean it up, take my pictures, and then I would send it to somebody and say, hey, this is what it is. And then like I'd have already trained them to take it from there. And not because it would save me so much time, but it would save me a lot of like mental energy from doing something I just do not want to do. And you can find them for, $3.50 an hour, and they are super happy to work. And because $3.50 an hour over there is let's say $15, $20 an hour. So I have a VA that does a lot of my back end stuff, and she shows up every single day saying, good morning, getting to work, updating me, all that good stuff. So yeah, man, Matt, I was told Matt, it's something to think about, man.
Yeah, it's probably also satisfying just to be able to like put bread on somebody else's tables. Like, let me help you because you're helping me. Jerry Maguire, help me help you.
Yeah, $3.50 an hour. We'll have them naming their kids after you.
Oh my gosh,
this happened. Yeah.
All right. So closing your end of the deal, guys. Selling it yourself. Listen, eBay Cassini does show preferred treatment to people that are quick to respond to interested buyers. So if someone DMs you on eBay and they're like in your inbox, get back to them. Get back to them quickly. Everything you do, and Cassini is still like partially a mystery, but it is the sort of like magic of what eBay is. And so I think at one point I was listening to a talk kind of like this, and they're talking about it, and I've read a lot of blogs about it, but it has almost like 200, 180, 200 unique different features that it's constantly like jostling back and forth and kind of determining, okay, like who are our best sellers. And so every little thing you do to show yourself as a legit seller and really like go the effort that eBay would prefer for people to show good customer experience or good customer service is only actually going to help you become a better seller, and ideally a power seller, which is, or Power Plus, which is like the next step where you can offer free shipping and free returns and all that sort of stuff. And of course, if you reach that level, then when people start searching for items, yours shows up first, or yours shows up second, or in the first page. And so I've gotten a lot more sales as I've done this. So like I had said previously, this is me kind of talking to everybody's millennial brain, which just says, hey, I've listed my item. It's been 2 days and it still hasn't sold. Okay, I get it. Give it 1 to 10 days. Let's say a week and a half. And if your console hasn't sold, I'd be really surprised. I had a PS4 Pro. It wasn't selling. Why was it selling? Oh, because it was priced a little bit too high. I had it priced at 400. So for the last 10 days, I've been lowering that price by $5 each. Boom, somebody hit on it 2 days ago. I sold it to a guy at an Air Force base somewhere in Texas. I shipped it off yesterday. Thank you very much. I bought that PS4 Pro from a guy for $50. No cap, $50, y'all. I sold it 2 days ago for $350. That's a great deal. Lower your prices because chances are your item's not as fire as you think it is. Don't be that guy or woman. If you bought at the right price, then hey, look, you're never going to really lose on your ROI. Helpful tips when you need to move product, man. These are just a couple quick things, and I'm going to kind of hustle here. But promote your item at 1%. You'd be surprised. Sometimes it does move the item. Sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. Reduce the price by $5 to $10 every day till it sells. Cross post. I like Mercari. Apart from Mercari, it's like I might list it locally. But if I realize if I take good photos and then relist it locally and my photos look better than the trash photos than the guy I bought it from, typically I'm still going to make more money. If you want to trade it for something that you might sell faster, listen, by some crazy happenstance, I recently was able to get an Xbox Series X from Best Buy. I don't know if you work with direct buyers and consoles. I've done a little bit of that. I'd be happy to talk more about that some other time. But I had an Xbox Series X. Right now, the prices on those has bricked, meaning the price is rubbish. You can maybe make about 25 bucks on them reselling to a direct buyer. I had it listed on Facebook Marketplace. This guy hit me up. He traded me this laptop right here. All right, this is a Zephyrus G14. This laptop right here is going to resell for $800 to $1,100. Set up this deal like 2 days ago. This is $1,000 item. This guy traded me an Xbox Series X for it. So if you're trying to get a better, higher value for something, then think outside the box. You know, put it online. Be willing to trade. I can get you something for this. Thing works great. Do all the things you need to do to sell it, but get yourself something else that you can make more money on. Then list that on eBay and make some money, because that's exactly what I'm going to do with this. Two quick things here. There are ways that when we talk about hacking and making yourself look preferable, there are actually ways you can do that on Discord. There is such thing as an eBay viewer bot and an eBay watcher bot, and you guys may not even know about this, and maybe this is like next level stuff and it's even extra. But if you click on this link, it'll take you to a Discord. In fact, I may actually have it pulled up and I could show you here. This right here is an eBay viewer bot. And so if you want to go on here and type in the commands, you can literally type in the commands and you can see right here, okay, this person typed in a command and it sent 500 views to their specific listing on eBay. A lot of people don't know about this. Once I kind of got into the Discord community, I found out about it. There are also watcher bots that do essentially the same thing. So I've put a link here to eBay Viewer. The guy who does this is a developer. And every like 2 weeks, he also takes like 15 new applicants for his eBay watcher bot. It is a pay-for service for like $30 a month. But I'm making mention of this just in case you want to try to go next level. Does it really work? It's worked for me and it hasn't. One of those challenges is some people are like, don't do that. You'll get shadow banned by eBay. It'll start flagging your listings. Has that really happened for me? Not really. I've had some slow months, but for the most part, if I'm having trouble moving an item, then I might send a few views and a few watchers to make that item look preferable in the eyes of the audience on eBay to say, hey, maybe I want to take a swing at this. All right, just food for thought there. Okay, shipping your item, consoles are a little bit different. So here's the big question you just need to ask yourself. Once you bought a console, and I'm going to ship something like this precious vintage Atari from 1980, whenever, can it survive a 5-foot drop off the back of a shipping truck? If you look at that and you have doubts, or you have to ask yourself, well, can it? Like, probably not, man. So pack it in such a way that it will survive. These are just basic tools of the trade I use. These are links to these items. Again, I'll be sending you guys information for this. But these are all things I use. But the big thing is this: never pay for shipping supplies when you can source it online for free. Just like I found those free TVs on Facebook Marketplace. Dude, go to Marketplace, find yourself free boxes, free shipping supplies, and source all the stuff you can for free. And then you're not any out-of-pocket expense. Try to send a PlayStation or a Nintendo or whatever to whoever needs it. I will say some items that I swear by that make the item look extra professional and really dope are these poly bags right here. Imagine as a customer, when you open up the item and you see a video game that is like sealed in a professional looking packaging, people love that experience because it feels like they're getting something new, even though it's used. And I get a lot of great reviews just based on that customer experience. So you need to be thinking about that when people are unwrapping whatever it is that you're selling. And so I'd say the poly bags are a big hit. And that was something that helped me get better reviews and move into the role of a power seller. So once you've shipped your item, shipping it up, I will add one other element on shipping stuff. If you're going to ship something and it's like an expensive item, like a PS4 Pro that I shipped out yesterday, that item, I'm going to make sure that it is insured because I want my money back just in case it gets jacked. Doesn't happen often, but if you do it enough, just out of probability alone, it probably will happen. Also, I once sent a Nintendo Switch to a guy and he tried to scam me. I didn't get my item. Well, I pay for the indirect signature service on eBay, which cost a few extra bucks, but it gives me peace of mind that if anybody tries to hit me back and say, "No, no, no, cuz you didn't send this to me." Yes, I did. I have verification that I sent it to you. Okay, you can eat it because eBay is gonna side with me. Go home. Like, you don't need any of those problems. You don't want any of those problems. Do yourself the service of not having any of those problems. Okay, insure the item and pay for the direct or indirect signature with the customer, and you'll be glad you did. I promise you, man. It'll take a lot of issues off the table, and I don't get those direct messages anymore where it's like, this person's trying to claim that they didn't get their item. It's like, bull. Yeah, you did. Okay, so once your item shows is delivered and this message, I want you to send this following message to the buyer to increase your feedback rating. Before I show you this message, I've used this message since I started this 3 years ago. I had 26 reviews on eBay. Now, as of today, I have, hold on a second. Let's see how many I have. I have 319, folks. I have almost 300 more reviews on eBay than I used to. This is my follow-up script, and I think this is good stuff. I think you should do this with everybody. So send the script to them. Hi, so-and-so. It's just a quick follow-up on the order you made, thanking you for your business and appreciation. I've left you some positive review to boost your reputation as a buyer. If you feel like this transaction met or exceeded your expectations, would you please take a moment to also provide some positive feedback? It would be greatly appreciated. Best regards. Every time I send this out, I'll send this out in bulk. I would say at least 20 to 30% of the sellers who otherwise would not give me good feedback, in turn, they return the favor. I'm going to go leave you a good review. Please, I've scratched your back. Will you do me the favor of scratching mine? And they give me a good review. I just sent this out last week. I got 5 more reviews that I wouldn't have gotten as a result. So I've used that to boost my seller rating. So I went from 26 to 319 positive reviews on eBay. Guess what, man? It's just keep stacking those up. That just says you're more reliable. You're a trustworthy place for people to spend their money. And I want people thinking that I'm a trustworthy space to spend their cash versus somebody that maybe doesn't have something like that going for them. Okay. So that concludes everything. I know we have a few viewers on, and Jeff, maybe I missed something. Before we wrap up the recording, guys, Ray, Adam, Jeff, and anybody else that's watching this recording, I just want to say thank you so much for being on here. We are going to stop the recording exclusively for those that are still on here. I'm going to include a couple bonuses. If you're watching this recording, I'm sorry you don't get those bonuses, but we love you still, okay? Take care.